Everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Crager, the Flip Flop Flipper, and we are in Cerro Gordo, Puerto Rico at a 7-room guest house. We've been dealing with this property off and on for a couple of years. I'm going to tell you what we did, how we did it. This is the first Puerto Rico property that we're doing in our series. This is what we do and this is how we do it. And we're going to go through this property. We'll try and grab the project manager. The purpose of these videos is to show you guys what we do in real life, in real time, on actual construction projects, on actual real estate, value add real estate deals. So we're going to talk about the floors, the doors, the windows, decisions that we make, why we make them, what we're doing. Hopefully you guys are going to get something out of this. You'll get to see through the eyes of a real estate investor. It's going to be loud because it's a construction site. There's no doors or windows. The cars are going by, lots of fun. Before we walk through the house, I'm gonna go over how we bought the property. I'm gonna tell you when we purchased it, what we paid for it. Every property has a story and this one is no exception. So we bought this at an auction about 3 years ago. This property was scheduled to be in an auction. Maybe it's longer than that because I think it was before COVID. And we ended up pulling it out of the auction, buying it directly from the seller before it ever got through the foreclosure auction. We paid like $75,000 or $80,000 for this property that was a shell, basically much worse condition shell than what we're standing in today. And we had thought that we would renovate it to its highest and best use, which we believed would be a 7-room guest house. And so we would have put it through what was called Act 74 or Act 60, which is a tourism play on the island of Puerto Rico, where you can invest in this type of project and get 40% tax credits back. And so long story short, a year goes by and we've done nothing with the property. We've got a dozen other projects going on. And so this one kind of got left behind and we decided that we were going to try to liquidate it. And my partner, Adon, who's behind the camera now, he came, he saw it, he fell in love with it. And we had a partner at the time who we needed to buy out. Adon decides that he's going to contract the property to purchase it and then wholesale it on to the next person. So we helped Adon with that. We did the contract with our partner, Patrick. We bought Patrick out and we sold it on to its current owner, who is a guy named Christian. And Christian is doing a phenomenal job of building our dream. So he's taken the ball and run with it. This is currently an Act 60 project. It's an approved Act 60 project with the tourism tax credits. So he's going to get 40% tax credits and he's going to get those tax credits back based off of his purchase price from us, all of the renovation he does, the first year operation budget, and the first year marketing budget. So when it's all said and done, he's likely to get about half of his money back through these tax credits. By the way, these tax credits, they'll come to him in the form of a liquidatable asset. So he could either use them to offset gains or offset revenues that he's got, or he could just sell them onto the market. And there's plenty of people out there that they buy these things for about 92 cents on the dollar. So if you get a $100,000 tax credit, you can turn it into about $92,000 cash. Wow, that's a big deal. On a project like this, I don't know his exact construction budget. We might be able to get Sheldon to tell us that in a minute when we talk to him. But I know his purchase price is around $300,000 and his renovation is probably also around 300 or 400. Maybe it's even a little bit better than that because he's doing some really nice stuff, some stuff that we didn't even think about. He's going to put in a pool back here. So we're standing here and he's going to put a pool back there. He put these terrazzo floors down and guys, I love these. This is the first time today that I've seen these terrazzo floors. Puerto Rico loves terrazzo. And this is a brand new tile that's come to the island. As far as we know, this is the first time that it's ever been used on the island and it pops, it really looks sharp. So that's one of the things that I wanna say as we go through this property. What we've learned about doing these Act 60 tourism projects is the nicer that you build them, the better you'll do with them. So if you make something that's super, super nice, you're gonna get a higher daily rate. So you're gonna get a higher occupancy and a higher daily rate. So you can afford to spend more on your renovation. And I think when we first bought this project, while we would have done it, or we were thinking of doing it as an Act 60, we would have had a much lower renovation budget. So our tax credits would have been way lower. Christian is really going to go all out with it. And he's going to have upgraded everything, the doors and the windows and the showers. It's all going to be way nicer than what we had originally planned. And that's what we've sort of learned by doing these. And we try to do each one better than the last. Christian's doing a fantastic job on this one. It's going to come out really, really spectacular. All right, so guys, we managed to wrestle Sheldon away from working. He's the hardest working man on the job site here. He's just getting it done. And so we want to talk to Sheldon about the renovation costs, the timeline of this, because man, oh man, they are blowing through this. Like, they're putting me to shame. I say that everything takes longer in Puerto Rico, but in this case, They're killing it. So Sheldon, let's talk about when you got involved with this project.
We started around October, middle of October, and our finish line we're looking at end of February.
Okay, and guys, just to recap here, you might recognize Sheldon from some of our other McMansion updates and stuff like that. You see him walking around in the background. When I'm telling you the guy's a worker, he's a worker because he's here every day, he's there every day. And he's married to Zuhei, who's also a worker. I love it, guys. So you guys started this renovation in October, and we are now the very first part of February. And when do you expect to be finished with this 7-room guest house?
We're looking for construction to be done end of this month.
So we got another 25 days or so before you're in.
Somewhere around there.
That's amazing. So Sheldon, what's kind of like the all-in budget here for the construction piece of this?
We're approximately about $250.
$250. And so far you're in budget?
Yeah.
You're doing better than me, man. Every time we start a project on the island of Puerto Rico, we start with a budget, we start with a timeline. And guys, I'll say this about PR consultants, we're able to finish things, but we're not necessarily really great at getting them done on time. And we sometimes go over budget 100% of the time. Look, if you guys can do that timeline in that budget, it's amazing. And then after you're done, you're gonna have some pretty special rooms that you're gonna need to furnish. Yeah. So what we see on a property like this is it will cost us approximately $10K per rentable space. Yep. You've got some bigger spaces, so maybe it'll be a little bit bigger than that, a little bit bigger budget.
Yeah, so for example, this room that we're in right now, this is gonna be one of our suites, or VIP room. This is a 2-bedroom suite. We have the view of the pool right there. We have view of the pool, 2 bedrooms.
Yep.
Small view of the ocean right there.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see it. I can see the caps.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we purposely did these huge windows to let a lot of light in. Yeah. To get the Puerto Rico vibe. And the floor, if you look at the floor, the first time this floor has ever been used in Puerto Rico. So this is like the first spot this floor has ever been in. The owner actually looked it up on ChatGPT, to be honest with you, and actually saw it and was like, where can I find that floor? Because he wanted to keep the Puerto Rico vibe. And because Puerto Rico is always, they always have the terrazzo floor and all of that. Yep. So he wanted to keep that Puerto Rican vibe going.
Yeah. These floors, they last forever. So why do we love terrazzo so much on the island? Because of the weather, because of the storms, it's gonna get wet, there's gonna be sand, but these floors last forever. And even when they get dingy and dirty, you can come in and polish them up and they look phenomenal. So they're gonna last forever, they look phenomenal. I really love these floors. We were talking about it earlier. These things are great. I plan now to use these on one of our upcoming projects because they're really that cool.
So the pool is in the drawing stage right now. So as soon as that is done, we'll get that in. So probably start the pool next month.
So you'll finish the construction here and then do the pool.
Exactly.
Will you open for business before you get the pool finished, or do you think you'll be furnishing the rooms simultaneously to building the pool?
I think we'll be building and furnishing at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And your kind of role here is to oversee the construction, the management of the whole project, and then the way I understand it, as soon as you're done with the construction, you're going to jump into sourcing the materials to furnish these places.
Yep, definitely. So I'm helping the owner to source all the furniture, the kitchen cabinets, the granites, everything to, make this place look really nice.
I want to just brag on you and Zuhei because we're using you at our McMansion build. And it's quite honestly, one of the best experiences we've had. I've said this and I joke that we're always over time and over budget, and we may still end up that way, but we're getting a better product. It's going really well. So guys, if you are going to take on a project like this, and this is no small task. This place is all new electric, all new floors, all new doors, windows, plumbing. Everything about this place has been touched. In fact, where we're standing here used to be a little loft. You would fall to your death down there. And so they put it across. You can't even tell that it's not always been this way. You turned this place, which was probably one of the worst rooms in the house, into probably one of the best rooms in the house. So as real estate investors, and as part of this series, I just want to point out, anytime that you get to grab some extra square footage. Now that wasn't much square footage, but maybe that's 50 extra square feet, but it makes this room completely functional, where before, honestly, the room had very little functionality. It would have been just a little crevice and dangerous and just kind of bad and icky.
Yeah, and one of the things that we did, the awning that's outside, we actually extended that awning to make a walkway to come down to this room.
So, and now you have one of these rooms downstairs ADA compliant?
Yes, so room 3 is gonna be accessible ADA.
Yeah, nice, that's important. So when you do an Act 60 project, you have to have one room for every 24 or 25 rooms. One of them needs to be ADA compliant. So if you have a 7-room guest house, 1 out of 7. If you have a 10-room guest house, 1 out of 10. A 25, 1 out of 25, and so on. If you have a 50-room hotel, you need 2 in 50. So hopefully that helps you guys there. I would also say, looking around and seeing how well you guys are doing the project, if you're gonna take on a hospitality project on the island of Puerto Rico, go the extra mile, spend the extra dollar, make it look better, do it super nice. And when you do that, you're gonna get a higher nightly rate and you're gonna get a higher occupancy rate.
Yeah.
So Sheldon, you've got another business on the island where you're providing smart technology for housing, for hotels. You're doing it for us at the McMansion, you're doing it here. Tell us about that.
So here we're gonna be doing cameras all around the property. We're gonna be doing Wi-Fi. And for this room in particular, which is our VIP room, we're going to set it up in a way where you have a single tablet or a single remote that controls the TV, music, and shades and stuff like that. Basically, back in where the pool is, we're going to put music back there, and you'll be able to do the same thing from your smartphone.
So every time a guest checks in, you can upload their phone number to it and get their phone working, and their phone becomes a remote?
Exactly.
Wow, that's very cool. Because you've got to make it simple for people who travel. Use me as an example. I really literally just leave my brain at home, and that's how tourists typically are. So I don't want to have to learn how to do new shit on my phone. So you got to make it super easy.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty simple. I mean, everything is just gonna be like on a tablet, where if you want to watch TV, you just hit the TV button. TV comes on. If you want to listen to music, you hit the music button and music comes on. You just pick your favorite music.
Nice. All right, buddy. Thanks for taking the time talking to us, brother. We appreciate you. Let's get into deal structure, guys, because I say all the time on this channel, and if you check out our content, you're going to see that we absolutely love to buy properties from sellers, right? So seller financing, making the sellers be the bank, is a thing that we love to do. And in this case, we're in the role of the seller financier. So we are not banks, but we were able to find someone who we made it easy for them to come and buy the property from us. They had to put a little bit of money down, make monthly payments, but they didn't have to go to the bank. They didn't have to qualify. And that's so important here in Puerto Rico because you just can't get bank financing really on anything unless it's your single family house. So becoming the financier using seller financing is a great way for you to start getting into a project. Or if you've got a project and you want to sell it on to the next guy, think about selling it with seller financing. So on this one, that's what we did with Christian. He's coming up on a balloon payment, and now he'll finish this project out. It'll be completely finished. He'll get it appraised by the bank, and he'll go cash us out, get us our money back. He'll probably be able to pull back most of his renovation costs. I mean, he's not going to have a ton of money in this place. It's going to appraise for a ton. This is an amazing project, and this is the kind of deal that you can do in Puerto Rico. We can't do, quite honestly, in Orlando, Florida. This would never be something that we would think about as the highest and best use because the cost of the building in Orlando, Florida would cost us 3 or 4 times as much, and the renovations would be about the same, but still, the money goes so much further in this kind of project here on the island of Puerto Rico, especially because of Act 60. The government wants more hotels on the island, and they're willing to give you 40% tax credits back for doing it. So we have lots of content on that, guys. We'll leave a description on a playlist for Act 60 stuff, tourism especially. That's what we do. We do lots of tourism investing on the island of Puerto Rico. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this series. This is what we do, or this is what we did, and this is how we did it. I'm not even sure what it's called anymore, but this is what we do, guys. This is what we do. We buy distressed property. We're value-add real estate investors. We bring things up to the best, highest, and best use that they could possibly ever be, and then we get them cash flowing and we hold on to them for a really long period of time. So even though this isn't what we're doing on this one, we did the seller finance. Christian took our idea, the ball, and he ran with it, and he's doing something even bigger and better than we ever thought or dreamt of. Like and subscribe to the channel. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.